So what do you do when you've offered your child vegetables and they say no, and you've tried so many different ways and they say absolutely not? And are supplements safe for kids? This was a question I was asked recently, and today we're going to answer it in this video. Welcome and thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Limferndi. I'm a pediatrician and founder of Generational Wellbeing. As a parent, it is frustrating when you're not able to feed your child or nourish your child, and you try different ways and you follow different tips and it's not working. So today we'll give you certain things that you can do while you work towards getting your child to get in those nutrients and the healthy vegetables that their bodies need. So why the big fuss about vitamins or about vegetables in the first place? Because most vegetables contain the minerals our bodies need. Then they contain vitamins, they contain fiber that are important and essential for not only our digestive health, immune function, growth and development, and all of that. So that's why there's that push about eating the vegetables. Now, if you have a kid who is not eating the vegetables, sometimes vitamins now can be that place where you can fill in the gap. But of course, filling in the gap while you're trying to gradually expose your child to the vegetables and offering variety to see how you can gradually expand their palates where they're getting all of that from their foods as opposed to getting it from the vitamin supplements. Now, we'll start out with the vitamins. Now, once you're looking at vitamins, I try to be as child specific as possible. First, we'll talk about the multivitamins, right? So with those, you want to go with the whole or plant-based options and make sure it's age appropriate, clean, and has a third party stamp on there to verify that all the supplements or whatever the claim is on that label, someone is actually verifying it to make sure what's in there is actually in there. So you would see like a USDA organic certified stamp on it is one of them, or the NSF certified stamp, just to tell you that there's someone else outside of this manufacturer that is going in there and checking to make sure it's in there. The second vitamin that I tend to recommend is iron, because we're seeing a lot of iron deficiency, especially in kids who are not eating the leafy greens, they're refusing to eat meats or seafoods, which are all those things that are high in iron. So if you have a kid who is refusing to eat any of those things, you may want to check and see if supplementing iron is an option. Now, I would say that while your iron is one of those vitamins that are deficient, though, you don't want to do too much of it, because too much of iron can actually cause harm. So you may want to talk to your child's pediatrician to check the iron levels to make sure they're actually deficient before you want to consider starting that. Another vitamin that I've seen where we're seeing a lot of deficiency is the vitamin D, especially in those kids who are not wanting to drink milk, you're not eating the iron fortified breads or cereals. And then sometimes too in the winter season where it's cold outside and you're indoors all the time and there's no sunlight. But for times or kids who are taking either milk or eating calcium and vitamin D fortified cereals and bread, that's typically not a big deal for them and no need to supplement, especially for those who are outside. And as the weather is getting warmer, being outdoors, it really helps with that one. And finally, the last one I typically would recommend is probiotics, especially with those kids who are not eating the vegetables, again, because that probiotic really is very important and key to digestive health, and also it helps with the absorption of those minerals, because while you're supplementing, while you're giving them all this foods and minerals, you want to make sure that the body is actually absorbing it and taking it and using it for what it's meant for. It won't be good for you to supplement and your body is not actually absorbing all the things that you're eating. So probiotics is one that for a kid who is very picky in very limited variety, where you don't have that a robust gut flora, a probiotic is a great option too. And like I said at the start with the multivitamins, you want to make sure that you have that third party verified stamp, just to make sure that you're giving them something clean, and you'll have someone who's verifying to make sure that those vitamins actually have what's in there. Outside of the vitamins, now how do you get your kids to start eating the vegetables? I usually would say it's a gradual process, especially if you have a kid who over time has eaten only maybe a handful of stuff, 5 or 6 different things that their palates are now used to just the salt, the sugar, and the fat. To change from that palate, everything is a yuck. So just knowing that itself, starting out with just rotating even the foods that they like already, or replacing what they're currently like with the healthy alternatives may be your only next step, as opposed to going from one thing as far as chips down to broccoli in one day. That would tend to backfire on you. So you may as well start out with one kind of chips, one brand of chips to the next brand of chips, and then maybe down the line with potatoes or fried potatoes, and then baked potatoes or sweet potatoes, and that transition in that way where you're not having this drastic overwhelmed with the change in the taste for them, but it's like a slow and gradual process. The second thing is you can try it using the smoothies, right? There's so many smoothies that have veggies in it. There are smoothies that have veggies like kale and spinach and chlorella and all the other options where you can add those in the smoothie, put some milk in it, have them have a breakfast smoothie or ground flax seeds in there, where those smoothies have those vegetables in there. They also have the fiber, and sometimes you can even add the probiotics in there to make sure that while they're having that breakfast smoothie, it is packed full of nutrients that are full of not only the vegetables, it has the fiber, and it also has the healthy fat options in there too. Finally, you want to make sure that you're exposing them to it in different areas, right? Whether it's involving them with meal prepping, whether it's involving them with picking out the vegetables in the store, or helping them with actually cooking it. Because sometimes when we offer the same vegetable in the same way, they'll say no all the time. So no is no longer an option. You can like, how do you want it? Do you want it steamed or stir fried or baked? And once we're involving them to become more familiar with it, and it's less overwhelming. And then also, once you're eating, you want to show them that it is actually good by modeling to them that it's enjoyable. So you want them to see you eating those vegetables, and sometimes even have them taste it off of your plate and not put it on their plate, where testing it off of your plate is reduces that overwhelm, and there's no commitment to say I have to finish this bit in my plate, but I'm just tasting off of mom or dad's plate just to see, do I really like it or not, or how do I like it? It's too crunchy, it's too soft, it's too saggy. That way you can start of understanding their sensory processing, and then you can now make foods that are closer to those preferences, as opposed to giving them the same vegetable cooked in the same way all the time. And it is a gradual process. Routines are really key for kids who are picky. If you don't have certain routine or schedule time where they're actually hungry enough to try a food, they're not going to eat it. And if you're offering a snack right before mealtime, they're not going to want to try that new food or even the meal that you're offering at that time. So you want to make sure you're having that routine too. So that's all I have for today. I hope this answered your question about vegetables and vitamins. And if you have any further questions, don't forget to leave it in the comment box. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and let any parent who's having the same kind of challenges you're having to sign up and learn some more with the next upcoming videos. Thank you.